Hypomesis lactiflorum. Hypomesis lactiflorum. Oh, lobster mushrooms. Why didn't they just say that?
Oh, hello, and welcome back to part 3 of my great mushroom adventure. In episode 1, I made baked stuffed portobello mushrooms, and that turned out okay. I liked it. In episode 2, I used wild forest mushrooms, and I sautéed them with some butter and some wine and served it with wild rice, and I really liked that. I also made some mushroom risotto using, of course, porcini. But I saved the best for last. I'm going to make a gravy, a mushroom gravy, using lobster mushrooms. Now, lobster mushrooms were included in the wild forest mushrooms, but it kind of stood out to me as a very nice one. It has a nice woody, earthy aroma, and this is what they look like when they're dried. And then once you soak them for about half an hour, they come out like this. I'll include a picture. So I made some gravy with these, and my God, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to do that today. So think about lobster mushrooms, obviously because of the color. They have a lot of nutrients in them. There's selenium, vitamin C, B1, B12, D, and E, lots of protein and fiber, supposedly, right? And that's good for, like, I guess if you're a vegan, B12 is good for you, right? Because, you know, that's what you... So these are overall good. Apparently they boost mental acuity, and they're good for the immune system. But, you know, everything you take with a grain of salt, right? It's not the only thing in the world. You have to combine foods with other foods, live a healthy life, all that stuff. You can't just take it and then go get hammered. Anyway, having said that, I'm going to get moving with this, and I'll show you what I have to do. All right, let's go. Okay, so I have sautéed mushrooms for about 4 to 5 minutes, or until they start to look a little, charred. And there they are. They're ready to go. I'm going to put those aside. I'm going to continue on. Right, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to put the mushrooms aside, and I'm going to use this pan again later. Keep this in mind. This is key. All right. So up next, I'm going to use the magic bullet. It's only making a small amount. If you're going to make a large amount, you have to use maybe a Vitamix, because in here I'm only going to put some mushrooms like I'm not going to put the fleshy parts, because that's a little too much for this blender. But I'm going to put some of the softer pieces. Let's see, a few of them in here, and this will be the starter for our gravy. Trust me. Yeah, so keep that in mind. If you're making a small amount, you want to use. I mean, the magic bullet. It's good for a lot of things, right? But it's not a Vitamix. So yeah, that one might be okay. All right, so that and that. All right, let's. Now I'm going to take the water that I used to soak the mushrooms in, throw that in here. Oh, how'd that happen? Get back in there. Good. Okay, let's plug this bad boy in. And brace yourself. Oh, you know what? I forgot one thing. Don't I always forget something? Yes. I have some dried sage. This is last year's garden sage. Even though the jar says 2015, that's only because I haven't never changed the label, but trust me, it is last year's. Well, I don't know if it would matter that much once it's dried. However, let's do that. Woo, almost forgot, huh? Most important, although I could have put it in afterwards. It's not a big deal. All right, here we go. All I'm really concerned about is that the mushrooms have been dissolved. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Moving on. Okay, so I have a hot pot. How hot is it, I wonder? All right, so I'm going to put in some garlic butter. I'm going to make a roux first for this. It's important. Mix that. All right, there's our roux. Now we'll have to thicken this. And in goes my mixture. A little bit at a time. Just mix it in. If it needs a little more thickening, I'll do that too, but I think this should be okay. So, I'll be stirring this for a few more minutes, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. However, so I had a conversation with a friend the other day, and we were talking about, you know, would you like to be 21 again? And of course I said, yeah, sure, but I think we both agreed we wouldn't want to be 21 today. You know, there's all these problems today, you know, societal upheaval, financial instability, you know, no one can afford to buy a house, and then there's always the looming threat of a dystopian future ruled by an uncaring and cruel artificial intelligence. But my reasons are a little different. They're more personal. I wouldn't want to be 21 today because, quite frankly, I'd have to call everybody dude and bro and maybe sometimes bra. And then I'd also have to pretend that Drake is the greatest, I don't know, artist that ever lived. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. That's my little story for the day. So I'm going to stir this for a while. It will eventually thicken up a little more. And if I have to put a little more flour and water in, I will do that. We'll be back in a moment. Okay, I've decided that I am going to add a little more flour water just to thicken it up a bit. This isn't baking soda. This isn't the magic powder. No, this is just yes, the magic powder. Well, that's good. That's happening. Oh, I love it. Ah, smells so good. Even though I thought maybe I put in a little too much sage this time, it seems to be coming out okay. You know, you can never have too much sage. Well, you can, but it seems to be working just fine. So I think in a couple more minutes it'll be done. Okay, this is coming together nicely. Oh yeah, it's getting thicker the way I like it. I have a bit of a taste here. Let's find out what's going on with this thing. Oh my God, that's it. Oh, it's so simple. You know, some garlic butter when you make your roux, use garlic butter, and you got to throw some sage in there. Lobster mushrooms, use the water that you soak the mushrooms in. You could add a little broth if you want, but I find this is so good. Oh my God. I didn't give you proportions because it's maybe when you're soaking the mushrooms, just cover them about an inch above the mushrooms with water. And that should be enough water for this amount. If you're making more mushrooms, double that, of course. And then throw a few mushrooms in with in the blender, and that makes a world of difference. Now I'm still going to use the rest of the mushrooms, but that's a different matter. We'll show you that in a moment. Oh, this is great. All right, I'll be back. Okay, we're back. So I'm going to use the same pan that I cooked the mushrooms in to cook an egg. First I'm going to toss in some red onions and some jalapenos. Get those going for a minute. You see how they're taking on the color from the mushrooms? It will be also like that with the egg. It's incredible. So we're using the mushroom in more than one way. 3 ways. One to make a gravy, one to make an omelet, and then of course the mushrooms themselves. Okay, they look pretty good. In go the eggs. Oh yeah! See how the egg is starting to pick up some of the color of the mushrooms? So that's a good thing. It also picks up the flavor too. Yeah, look at that. Fantastic. Now it's time to assemble. On the side, we're going to have a bit of a salad. This is garden fresh arugula. With some bean shoots and some fancy schmancy radish flowers. Oh yeah, I know. What can I say? And now comes the egg. All that goodness in there. Okay. Now, the best part. Coming at you in 3D. The star of the show. Mushroom gravy. Oh yeah. On top of that, I'm going to throw in a few of these mushrooms here. Oh yeah, look at that. Put them all in there, what the hell. Once again, some of the mushroom gravy. You know what? Put a bit on there too. And that's it. Look at that. This is Mike's big breakfast. Can you dig it? Nice, huh? Now that mushroom gravy goes so well with this omelet. What can I say? That's it. So if you'd like to try this, it's a good thing. Anyway, I'm going to eat this off screen because, you know, it's so good. In the meantime, you know what to do. Well, that was my great mushroom adventure, part 3 of 3. If you like this, you know what to do. Down below, smash that like button. If you don't, that's okay too. I don't live for you. I live for this. Anyway, I have lots of good ideas. I mean, a lot of interesting ideas. Bringing them into fruition, well, that's another matter, but I'm working on it. So I'll be back with some interesting things, and for now, I'm going to eat this, okay? So you have to go. Go. It's over. Go. Go on. Go.